BYU's going to win this one. 10-4 over the University of Utah. Colorado walks away with the win over Colorado State. Good evening and welcome to Kittredge Field in Boulder, Colorado. Tonight, it's the RMLC Division I Championship and the automatic berth to the MCLA Championship. Colorado and BYU right here in just a minute. Max, this matchup is huge. These two teams don't like each other, and they will play lights out for 60 minutes.
They know each other all too well, too. They play at least once a season. More often than not, they play twice here at the RMLC tournament, and like you said, these guys do not like each other at all. It's going to be a heated game, and it's also going to be a fantastic game.
Let's take a quick look at our key players of the game for Colorado and BYU.
We'll start off with the Buffs. We got Ben Wharton, Mr. Finisher on the inside, prides himself on scoring within 1 foot of the crease. Then you've got the do-it-all midfielder, Colin McIlvaney, who is really a game changer here for the Buffs. And then Penn Lukens on the defensive end, anchoring down that CU team. On the other side, you've got Tanner Johnson, a good finisher himself at the attack unit for the Cougars. Connor Bernal, a transfer from Marquette. And then Wardle on the defensive end as well. You've got a very even matchup, and we saw both of these teams light up the scoreboard yesterday.
Two of the best goaltenders in the MCLA, Mason Moon for BYU and Jetson Makarov for Colorado.
Yeah, Mason Moon, a freshman, an outstanding player so far in his first collegiate season. You wouldn't know it by the looks of him. And then Jetson Makarov also standing on his head yesterday against a CSU team that really tried to push the tempo.
And then we got the face-off guys, Broderick Vitale, who's struggling a little bit, taking on Connor for BYU.
Correct. We saw Vitale struggle a little bit with some procedure calls yesterday against Chamberlain, and then on the other side you had Connor, who really excelled against Utah, which really pushed them to that 10-4 victory over the Utes.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for the opening face-off, the RMLC Division I Championship, presented by Movement Training Systems.
MTS has guided my training since high school. I thought I knew how to run, but after them breaking it down and showing you actually the fundamentals, I could feel myself getting faster after each session. I've had to kind of look in within myself and make it a goal of myself just to become a better athlete, and MTS has helped me get along that way.
And Eric Moss put this team on his back here.
It brings that individual personal training to the team concept, but they're scientific behind it. They are helping athletes become quicker, faster, and stronger.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA, and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
The team. It teaches us the importance of setting goals, gives us an appreciation of diversity, provides stronger peer relationships and greater self-esteem, and shows the importance of working together. Play It Again Sports has the new and quality used sports and fitness gear for all teams, and we also pay on the spot for your gear from last season. We are on your team. Play It Again Sports, the official sponsor of all those who play.
Matthews alongside Max Frater will bring in the third member of our broadcast team in just a bit. Scott Fields is over between the two benches. We're just about set for face-off. Connor Williams and Broderick Vitale. Whistle blows, Vitale pulls the ball out. It's loose. Coming to the near side, looking for that ground ball is Max Nesser. Nesser can't come up with it. It's going to be pushed out of bounds on the near side. Off of BYU, unable to control for the Cougars, was Miller. Saboski starts for the Buffaloes, carries to the near side, and feeds it for Carter Escada. Just underway here in Boulder, the RMLC Division I Championship. Escada across the top of the box to the far side, feeds for Russell. Russell is going to carry into the box, down the near side alley. Feed the middle of the field, and a one-timer, Wharton, the finish.
One of our key players of this game, Ben Wharton, and there he is, always present on the crease. and he takes the feed from Russell on this one. Caught the BYU defense sleeping a little bit. I mean, that guy is the king of finishing one-on-one against the goaltender, and he shows off his skill right there with the first goal of the game.
Just 34 seconds into this one, the Buffaloes have the lead. These two teams play each other at least twice a year. Sometimes they match up in the national championship tournament as well. Ball loose on the turf is going to be taken away by Jackson Marlowe for Colorado. Marlowe takes that long pole, carries into the box, and feeds the near side for Escada. Escada kicks it up top for Kian Reno. Reno had one yesterday, has one today as well.
And that's the toughest part about this Buffalo team, is that you have no idea where the shot's coming from. Yesterday, as you mentioned it, Kian Reno with one. A lot of defensive midfielders taking shots on cage. CU doesn't wait to get their offensive guys on the field. If they see a shot, they're going to take it, and they have the skill to put it in the back of the net.
Just 54 seconds into this one, Buffaloes 2, Cougars nothing. Lots of noise on the far sidelines. Vitale has the clamp on this one. Loses control of the ball, and it's going to be scooped up by Miller. Miller heads to the inside. The shot, Makarov makes the save. So a quick possession for BYU turns into transition for Colorado. Cottrell carries across midfield, gets triple teamed. The ball hits the turf. Final score between these two a few weeks ago was Colorado 9, BYU 7. Simboski trips and falls. Ball is scooped up by Wise. He carries into the box for the Buffaloes. Feeds the top for Jake Gonzalez, the Offensive Player of the Year in the RMLC Division I ranks. Gonzalez scores 3-0 Colorado. And just like that, BYU has no idea what's hit them.
Buffs haven't missed. This is what the Cougars did to the Utes yesterday as they popped out to a 4-0 lead. Now they're getting a taste of their own medicine. Buffs have not missed on a shot yet here. We're just over a minute and a half in.
Timeout. BYU, they trail 3-0 already here in the RMLC Division I championship game, presented by Movement Training Systems.
John Bacon, former linebacker at the University of Oregon. There isn't an app out there that takes your data of what you were able to do, define an intensity level, and then interpret that and provide a weight for you for the next set. We're doing things that make football players better power lifters, better direct line sprinters. That's what this is changing. There needs to be an evolution in how we train athletes. This is it.
At 5280 Waste Solutions, your trash is our business. We can handle any size job with our huge variety of roll-offs. We're the leader in commercial disposal with our industrial-sized containers. But our sweet spot is for you do-it-yourselfers and landscapers. Our newest can fits right into your garage. With 5280, you get one price and no hidden fees. When it's time to clean, think green. At 5280, we can't wait to get our hands on your trash.
Your passion is your story. Big Bite tells stories. Your story is your brand. Big Bite builds brands. Your brand is your business. Big Bite. You do you. We'll do the rest.
Fields down here on the sideline again, getting snowed on. BYU's coaching staff really put them in the huddle there, being down 3-0. Wanted to really focus on those ground balls, really push that, put those 3 goals behind them, and move forward. A lot of game left, a lot of time for them. Gentlemen, hope you're staying warm there in the booth.
Wish we were in a booth. Face off to the near side. Vitale scoops it up and dishes for Escada. Nice job by Broderick Vitale. Buffs with the ball in a 3-goal lead already. Russell running downhill. Feeds the middle of the field. That ball's going to bounce and hit the turf. Ball's loose in the crease. Moon scoops it up and feeds the near side for Wardle. Wardle, one of our key players of the game. Big ride for Colorado. Moon comes out, scoops it up. It's going to be picked up by Wharton. Wharton gets nailed from behind and high. That's going to be a stoppage of play, and it's going to be a BYU penalty.
Yeah, Connor Bernal going straight to the penalty box. He knew exactly what he did. A clear push with possession. We'll see how much time they give him. I mean, to be honest, you could do longer than a minute because he had a running head start coming out of the box.
Bernal gets 30 seconds on the push from behind. Consider himself fortunate.
Yeah, I think it should be a lot more. I mean, that was it was a high hit. It was a push from behind. Wharton had possession. He popped the ball up in the air to himself, but had possession of it by the time he got hit. I mean, Bernal knew exactly what he was doing.
Gonzalez with the feed to McElvaney. Behind the cage to Roach. Back to McElvaney on the wing. McElvaney feeds the Division I Offensive Player of the Year, Gonzalez, who kicks it back to McElvaney. Down low now for Russell. McElvaney cranks one. That one just sailed right by the ear of Connor Williams on its way to the cage. It goes wide, but Colorado's there for the backup. Worked up to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to pull it out. Defense on now. Haugard. And the penalty's over to BYU. Ball gets worked to the top for Gonzalez. Folks, the weather has beat us up a little bit here today. We've only got one camera live for you, unfortunately, but nevertheless, we've got the coverage of this great RMLC D1 matchup between BYU and Colorado. Wharton dodges from X all the way to the top of the box and feeds Gonzalez on the near side. Gonzalez is marked up by Nesser, the Defensive Player of the Year in the RMLC. Gonzalez rolls, fires one home, and Colorado's up 4-0, 11:27 to play in the first.
Battle of the Players of the Year. Nesser, as you just mentioned, the Defensive Player of the Year for the conference. Gonzalez, the Offensive Player. And with less than an angle there, Jake Gonzalez somehow able to sneak that in on the far side pipe. Looked like he was right at goal line extended, if not behind. Tremendous play by Gonzalez, already with his second on the day.
Connor Williams, who had such a great day yesterday, right now is 1 of 4 at the axe for BYU. Vitale winning the matchup early. And that's Vitale's game, a hit and miss, but when he's on, he's on. Vitale is pushing Williams off the ball. There's going to be a hold called on Williams. Colorado ball. Simboski with the restart for the Buffaloes. Feeds for Roach. Roach, one of the little guys on this team, feeds it all the way to the top for Cannon. Cannon has a head of steam coming down the left side. Carries down to just above goal line extended and rolls back on the far side wing. Cannon's going to pull the ball out. He's marked up defensively by Williams. Carries down to goal line extended. Cannon's going to go from there. He's got Williams beat. Rolls back down to GLE. Feeds the ball behind the cage to Roach. Roach has Barker all alone on the near side. Now it's Cannon stepping out up top. Roach will initiate. Shot in the goal. Right there, the whistle blows. Got a moving screen on Colorado. That saved BYU's hindside.
Could have been what opened up that goal. I believe it was Ben Willows as he came sprinting off the field that set that moving screen.
Cost turnover by the Buffaloes. Wharton scoops up the laundry and gives it to Snell. Snell's going to feed the far side for Wise, who kicks it up top. Barker with it. Works it over to Snell. 4-0. 10 minutes left in the first period. Ball gets worked all the way to the top. Over and back on Colorado. It'll be BYU ball.
Jay Snell with a great opportunity as he drew the attention of two long poles. That means somebody's got to be open, most likely an attackman, but just didn't find anybody to connect with as he threw that ball away.
Farley feeds Bernal on the near side. Cougars still looking to get on the board. A little over 5 minutes gone by in the first. And this is exactly what BYU did to Utah. They scored 4 quick goals early on, and Utah could never recover. Ball worked back around to the near side wing for Bernal. Now kicked up top. Labrum kicks it to Waddups. Now over to Bernal. Bernal has nowhere to go. Nice defense there. Played by Blake Sandman. Ball gets worked behind the cage to X. Now over to Farley. Farley feeds Perry. Perry looks far side. Knocked off his feet on the far side with Severson. And the ball works back. Near side. Bernal, face dodge, gets inside, takes the shot. Makarov makes the save. Makarov scoops up the ball in his crease. Feeds Jackson Marlowe. He's going to pick it up on the run over his shoulder. Walk into the zone. Feed near side. Roach to the middle of the field for Wise, and he can't control. It rolls into the cross of Mason Moon. Marlowe ends up on the turf in the offensive zone. BYU comes the other way. Feed comes near side Nesser. Nesser has it up top. Looks for the shot. Bernal gets the feed from Nesser and can't hang on to it, but Labrum will scoop it up for the Cougars.
End-to-end action for both of these squads so far. I would expect to see the same for the rest of this game.
Waddups carries to the near side wing and feeds Bernal at the top of the box. Bernal back to Waddups. Waddups down low. Farley. Save made by Jensen Makarov. What a great job smothering the ball before it crosses the goal line.
Makarov with some fantastic saves to start this game off. 2 back-to-back kick saves really kept momentum in favor of his Buffs. If BYU scores on those, it's a very different feeling, but right now you just feel like CU is completely controlling the tempo of this game.
Cottrell with a head of steam, carries the ball in, feeds down low. Ball comes loose, and it's going to be scooped up by Moon. Cottrell tried the toe drag with that pole of his, and it didn't work all that well. Ball gets fed near side for the Cougars. Now up to midfield for Nesser. Nesser feeds it down for Farley. Farley's picked up by Lukens. Carries up to the near side wing. 8 minutes gone by here in the first. It's 4-0 Colorado over BYU. Ball worked down low, near side. Farley kicks it behind the cage for Perry. Perry can't control. Scoops it back up. It ends up in Makarov's cross. Makarov gets knocked around a little bit. Not happy about that. Colorado ball. And there's a free clear on goaltender interference for Colorado. McIlvaney is going to restart for the Buffaloes. He feeds near side for Gonzalez, who's picked up defensively by Haugard. Feed for Russell, far side. Worked behind the cage. That's Roach. Roach has Gonzalez up high. He was calling for it. Roach doesn't feed. Roach circles around, above goal line extended, and feeds the top for McIlvaney. Colorado 4, BYU nothing here in Boulder. The RMLC Division I Championship. Feed comes up top for McIlvaney. McIlvaney dodges to the middle of the field. Hands are free. Moon makes the save, but the ball's going to be scooped up by Wharton. Colorado retains possession. Nice job on the rebound by Wharton, extending the possession for the Buffaloes. Russell with the feed to the inside. Ball pops loose. Wharton can't finish that one. Chase to the near sideline is going to be given to BYU.
It was either that or they called Ben Wharton for a crease violation. He looks like he got hit as he was trying to corral that feed into the middle. Bent over and either, touched just inside the crease or fell in. At least that's what I saw from my view.
BYU with the ball. Behind the cage is Johnson. Feed comes up top through Waddups to Bernal. Bernal carries near side, feeds Perry behind goal line extended, picked up by Sandman, feeds far side for Johnson. Worked all the way back up to the top. Labrum gives the ball up and it works over to Bernal. Nice ball movement here by BYU. Feed comes top for Severson. Severson feeds Bernal on the near side, who kicks it down low for Perry. 4:54 to play, first period. Bernal with the ball for the Cougars. Rolls back near side, feeds Labrum, who kicks it to Perry. Works all the way back around and up top for Severson. Severson can't control. Ball loose near midfield. Lukens hammering on Severson. Ball comes near side. Labrum fires and scores near side pipe.
Finally breaking the ice is Zach Labrum with a laser from the outside. Looks like he used his defender as a screen a little bit too to try to throw Jensen Makarov off. He's been on point all game so far, but just let that one slide. Great shot too by Labrum.
No, just let him. Max, just let him go. So we're back at the face-off. Vitale pushes it forward into the offensive zone. It's going to be scooped up by Handley. It's going to be CU ball. Handley losing it out of bounds on the near side. Escada with it. Comes down the near side. Feed up top for McElvaney. McElvaney's going to feed Palitz. Palitz had a goal yesterday. He's one of those D-middies. For Colorado, still on the field. Palitz is going to hustle back across midfield. Russell will come on. Russell's going to get the feed from Gonzalez from the far side wing. Carry down the left side. Runs past his man. Feed comes near side. McElvaney, or that's Escada's shot. Goes wide of the cage, backed up by Russell. Russell carries to goal line extended, feeds it up top for McElvaney. McElvaney's going to pull it out. Feed for Gonzalez, and Gonzalez will carry down the near side alley. He gets pushed out on the wing by his defender Haugard. Down to goal line extended. Gonzalez working one-on-one, feeds the ball behind the cage now. Through Wharton, over to McElvaney and up to Russell. Russell behind the cage to Roach. Roach kicks it up top for Gonzalez. He's going to go one-on-one with Haugard. Cranks the shot. That one gets saved by Moon, and BYU's coming the other way. BYU's going to work the ball up the field through Moon. Across midfield to Haugard. Haugard's picked up by Gonzalez. Haugard blows by Gonzalez, feeds the ball behind the cage for Perry. BYU will settle in on the offense. Ball works far side. Up top for Tunick. Work down low through Johnson. Over to Perry and back to Johnson. Johnson can't control. Works far side. Babbitt chased after. And the ball works all the way up to the top. Through Bertha. Down low to Perry.
Second line middies in for BYU. Expect to see the offense coming from the attack line.
Bertha takes the shot. Save made by Makarov. Reno is going to make the run across the midfield stripe into the offensive zone. He scored once today, scored once yesterday. Reno, the new offensive threat for the Buffaloes. Escada fires one. That one rockets off of Hanley. Comes free to the near side, and it's picked up by Barker. Barker kicks it behind the cage. Then the ball gets worked over to the far side for Reno. Reno's marked up defensively by Waddups. Feeds behind the cage. There's a shot and a goal for Colorado.
Johnny Roach, the gunslinger from the right wing. Making it count off the nice feed from Esqueda. Esqueda losing the ball initially on the no-look turn and shoot. Crossing above goal line extended, able to scoop up his own rebound. Ball comes back to him and he finds a wide open Roach for the outside shot.
So we're going to head back to the X. 57 seconds left to go in the first period of play. Colorado 5, BYU 1. Vitale with another face-off win for Colorado. He's having a great day so far at the X. Feeds Esqueda. Esqueda's going to work down the near side to goal line extended. Vitale kind of stuck on the field right now with 39 seconds left to go. He's just basically pulling himself out of the action.
Basically just playing mind games with his defender, trying to make him drop back and get a jailbreak, which he has going right now.
Shot taken by Roach is backed up by Esqueda for Colorado. We're at 23 seconds left to go first period. Willows carries down the far side, feeds the ball to the middle of the field. There's a shot. It goes wide. Esqueda again there for the backup. We're at 4 seconds left to go in the first.
BYU coaches trying to call for the moving screen as Stavik tries to open up Willows to get past Max Nesser.
1 second left. Turnover, Colorado. Ball's going to start on the near side for BYU. Mere formality. Ball gets fired at the cage. That finds the back of the net. That goal should count. And it does. 5-1. Makarov got himself caught out of the net. And a big boost for BYU at the end of one. They trail 5-2. The Division I RMLC Championship game presented by Movement Training Systems.
The team. It teaches us the importance of setting goals. Gives us an appreciation of diversity. Provides stronger peer relationships and greater self-esteem, and shows the importance of working together. Play It Against Sports has the new and quality used sports and fitness gear for all teams, and we also pay on the spot for your gear from last season. We are on your team. Play It Against Sports, the official sponsor of all those who play.
I was sinking deep underneath.
It's the best smoke show in Denver. GQ Barbecue is Colorado's premier competitive barbecue team, and now you can experience the championship-winning flavors. Fire, smoke, and time, combined with the finest quality meats, best seasonings, and freshest ingredients, make for the best barbecue around. Stop in for our championship-winning brisket, ribs, wings, and sausage, or have us cater your next event. Eat championship barbecue every day at GQ Barbecue.
Scott Fields down here on the sideline. Coach Calvin and his staff really emphasize to keep the intensity up, keep the speed up. Don't let that last second goal really affect them. Keep pushing it. On the other staff at BYU, they're just a little upset with some calls that officiating might have missed here. But we'll see what happens as this game moves forward and they look for it. Max, Dan, back to you guys.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that. Face-off win. BYU. Miller scoops it up. Only 3 turnovers in that first period of play, Max, and that is what is the level of play in the RMLC at the Division I ranks.
Level of play between these two teams, too. I mean, you could tell just watching the both of them in their semifinal games, they both move the ball so fluidly, and they're all great ball handlers. So, I mean, no surprises that there's only been 3 turnovers total after 15 minutes.
Wardle was the one who fired that laser at the CU cage as the first quarter expired and found the back of the net. Jensen Makarov getting caught out from between the pipes. I'm not sure why.
Didn't think that it was going to make it. Probably just didn't read the trajectory on that ball very well. But it was a bullet. I mean, we saw it right in front of the tent here.
Bernal feeds near side for Johnson. His shot goes wide to the near side. It's backed up on the far side by BYU. Timeout, Colorado. 14:01 to play. First half. This is the RMLC Division I Championship game, presented by Movement Training Systems.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA, and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family-owned and player-operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
The specialists at Highlands Ranch Glass have one goal: to offer you the most professional commercial and residential glass services in the metro area. Our expert glass services include shower enclosures, window glass repair, and commercial storefronts. Our Glassworks operation allows us to customize any job for the perfect glass solution. We've been providing high-quality glass services in the metro area for over 60 years. Highlands Ranch Glass offers a clear difference. Call us today and see for yourself.
Your passion is your story. Big Bite tells stories. Your story is your brand. Big Bite builds brands. Your brand is your business. Big Bite. You do you. We'll do the rest.
Back to Boulder. BYU 2, Colorado 5. 60 seconds gone by. That was a settle him down timeout by John Galvin. Ball comes near side through Johnson and behind the cage for Farley. Ball works up top. Labrum can't control the pass down to the wing. It's heading out of bounds, goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Colorado ball.
And a good timeout called by Galvin, the very rare end line timeout. BYU held on to possession, but the opposing coach, or the coach whose team is on defense, is allowed to call timeout when the ball goes out on an end line as opposed to a sideline.
Snell being chased down by two BYU players who have absolutely no impact on the 6'4", 210-pound Jay Snell. Ball comes near side for Esqueda. Esqueda kicks it back to Snell and works it around the box to Wise. Wise is going to dodge up GLE. He gets pushed from behind. The ball goes wide. Flag comes out. Scooping it up behind the cage is Reno. It goes out of bounds. We're going to have a penalty coming up on BYU.
Another push with possession as Wise takes a tumble into the crease, trying to shoot that ball. A little bit of a backhand shovel as he loses angle, tumbling to the ground, but draws the penalty. We'll get CU man up for the second time in this game.
"30-second push from behind coming up on BYU. Colorado goes man up, leading by 3.
30-second penalty for pushing on number 18 BYU at 13.
All work behind the cage through Roach over to McElvaney, back to the top. Wharton has it. He feeds it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez down low to McElvaney behind the cage for Roach. McElvaney pulls it up. Skip pass comes to Wise. Wise bounces one in on Moon. He makes the save. Nice job by Mason Moon. Ball comes near side. Needs. Kicks it up to Nesser. Nesser feeds the ball down low. Nice job climbing the ladder and grabbing the ball by Ash. Ball works out to the far side for Farley. He's going to kick it up top for Severson. Back to GLE, Farley to Johnson, back over to Farley. Ball comes up top for Bernal now. Bernal feeds the top of the box for Labrum. Labrum picked up by Palix, feeds Johnson. Johnson's shot goes wide of the cage. Farley there for the backup. We've got a procedure called. Too many men on BYU. It's Colorado ball. That's a bad mental error for the Cougars.
Yeah, I believe as the penalty was released, BYU just had 2 offensive players check on, thinking that they were the right personnel for that set. McElvaney carrying the ball up. Always dangerous whenever the ball's in his stick.
McElvaney goes over the shoulder and Boone reacts. Ball goes wide. Wharton hits the backup.
Yeah, very creative player. Never know where the shot is coming from because he can handle his stick so well with the ball in his cross. We saw a shot similar to that, except McElvaney was on the run in the MCLA tournament. I believe that was 2 years ago against Virginia Tech. So we know how deadly his shot is behind his back as well as in front.
Back in play, ball to Wharton. Wharton kicks it near side for Gonzalez. Gonzalez works it up top for McElvaney, who feeds over to Russell. Russell is going to go one-on-one with Taylor. Comes to the near side, feeds McElvaney. McElvaney lets one rip. It goes wide of the cage, backed up by Escada. Escada feeds the top of the box for Gonzalez. How great would it be for Colorado to get the automatic bid and both of the Gonzalez brothers to hang out in California?
So far, things are looking good. Justin Gonzalez sealed the deal with a Metro win over Montana State earlier today.
Jake Gonzalez bounces one in on the cage. Moon makes the save. Quick outlet pass. That's Haugard. Haugard on his horse. Feeds the far side over to Farley. Farley rings one off the pipe. Comes near side. Houghton's going to scoop it up for BYU. Gonzalez overran it. Ball worked far side. Goal line extended. That's Waddups working it behind the cage for Farley and getting the ball back. Through Bertha all the way to the top. That's Bentley with the ball for the Cougars. He kicks it to Johnson, who works it behind the cage for Farley. Farley picked up defensively behind the cage by Cottrell, so the ball works up top to Bertha. Bertha carries near side. Works it to Johnson on the wing. Babbitt comes out to play Johnson. He feeds Bentley, who kicks it up top for Bertha, who goes far side now for Tunic. Tunic's shot rings off the pipe. That's 2 pipes in a row now for BYU. Comes out of bounds. The chase for Bentley. Ball gets worked to the top. Cougars with it. That's Bertha.
Cougars being very deliberate with the ball here. With it now is Bentley. Bentley being harassed by Cottrell, who comes all the way to the top of the box to mark up on the Cougar midfielder. BYU will continue to work it around the horn. 9:23 remaining here. Cougars down by 3, 5-2 in the second quarter.
Bertha feeds the ball near side. Ball comes loose. It's going to be scooped up by Babbitt for the Buffaloes. Babbitt looks to feed Russell, throws the ball away. It's going to be a chase down on the far side. Wise, and it's doing battle, and it's going to be scooped up by the Cougars. Carried back into the offensive zone by Rose. Rose gets knocked over by Cottrell. Ball comes loose. Snell can't control. Cougars do. Bentley has it. He feeds it over to Bertha. Cougars will look to settle the ball down after a fast and furious first quarter.
BYU fans clamoring for a push from behind flag with Rick Rose hitting the turf. I can see their case, but at the same time, Rose trying to face dodge and get out of traffic. He puts his back to the defender, which is how he ended up on the turf. Good no call, in my opinion, by the officials.
BYU throws the ball away. It'll belong to the Buffaloes. They lead 5-2. We're approaching 8 minutes left in the first half. Ball gets worked to the far side for Lukens. Lukens starts and stops, starts again and kicks it back to Makarov. Makarov working it up toward midfield. And the Buffaloes Well, that was a failure to advance by Colorado. Ball goes far side. Williams has it for BYU. He kicks it to Labrum. Labrum carries into the box. Feed goes through Waddups near side for Johnson. Back to Waddups over the shoulder of goaltender Makarov. Worked all the way out to the top now for Bernal and over to Farley. BYU just working the ball in the circle, waiting for the opening. Johnson has it down below. Initiates some offense through Labrum. Labrum stops at the top, pulls the ball out. He wants to go one-on-one with Reno. Comes to the near side, feeds Johnson, gets the ball back. He had his hands free there, opted to feed it across the field to Waddups, to Johnson. Johnson goes high to low. That's a goal for the Cougars. 5-3 our score. 7:06 left to play here in the first half of the RMLC Division I championship game presented by Movement Training Systems.
MTS has guided my training since high school. I thought I knew how to run, but after them breaking it down and showing you actually the fundamentals, I could feel myself getting faster after each session. I've had to kind of look in within myself and make it a goal of myself just to become a better athlete, and MTS has helped me get along that way.
And Eric Moss put this team on his back here.
It brings that individual personal training to the team concept. But they're scientific behind it. They are helping athletes become quicker, faster, and stronger.
The team. It teaches us the importance of setting goals, gives us an appreciation of diversity, provides stronger peer relationships and greater self-esteem, and shows the importance of working together. Play It Again Sports has the new and quality used sports and fitness gear for all teams, and we also pay on the spot for your gear from last season. We are on your team. Play It Again Sports, the official sponsor of all those who play.
At 5280 Waste Solutions, your trash is our business. We can handle any size job with our huge variety of roll-offs. We're the leader in commercial disposal with our industrial-sized containers. But our sweet spot is for you do-it-yourselfers and landscapers. Our newest can fits right into your garage. With 5280, you get one price and no hidden fees. When it's time to clean, think green. At 5280, we can't wait to get our hands on your trash.
Welcome back to Boulder, everybody. 5-3 is our score. BYU clawing their way back into this one against Colorado. Colorado Max got off to the hot start. 4 goals unanswered to start the game, and now BYU's outscored them 3-1.
I mean, a huge momentum swing at the very end of that first quarter that CU dominated with, pretty much a 60-yard shot with 1 second left on the clock. So BYU going into their huddle excited, even though they're down 5-2 at the end of the third quarter. Tanner Johnson putting on the most recent goal for the Cougars on an outside shot from the left wing. I mean, these teams have the firepower to light up the scoreboard, and a 3 or 2 goal lead now is not safe by any means against BYU.
No, not at all. 7:06 to play here in the first half. Vitale and Williams back at the face-off X. Williams wins that one cleanly. Pulls it out, carries it into the offensive zone for the Cougars. Ball works to the near side for Johnson. Johnson works it behind the cage for Farley, and Farley kicks it on to Perry, and up top now for Labrum. Bernal gets the feed. Works the inside, feeds Labrum. Labrum gets his hands free on the inside, bounces one home. It's 5-4.
Bad substitute by
BYU's clawed their way back. 6:32 to play. We knew it was far from over at 4-0. Much different matchup than what BYU had yesterday with Utah. Utah getting better and better. Definitely well coached. Still working on the personnel aspect and the depth aspect of building that roster and the program out at the University of Utah as they looked ahead to the NCAA Division I ranks. McElvaney carries the ball into the box for Colorado. Hits goal line extended, circles around the cage. Comes up to the far side wing, tries to feed Russell. Russell has nowhere to go with it. Wow, I'm not sure about that one, but the ball belongs to BYU on the over and back call by the far side official. So BYU looks to tie it up. Bernal feeds Farley in the corner, gets the ball back on the wing, and pops it up top for Labrum. Labrum's going to move it along for Severson on the near side. Severson feeds Johnson, who kicks it behind the cage for Perry. BYU works it all the way back around, and it comes back up top for Severson now. Severson out of South Jordan, Utah, went to Brigham High School. Got a flag down, a late flag down. It's going to be a penalty against Colorado, and it looks like it's going to be Babbitt making his way off the field.
Yeah, Babbitt was the closest one I saw. I think that hit was a little bit too late on Severson as he got rid of that ball. Get the call from the PA.
Near side high with Farley. He kicks to Johnson, who works it back behind the cage. Through Waddups, over to Severson, and up to Brawl. BYU sets Colorado.
Went to go chase the rebound. Completely blew that one past the Buffalo goaltender.
Referees huddled just off of midfield. Work to set the ball. Colorado 5, BYU 5. Arizona State and Grand Canyon will play for the SLC championship. That one will be tomorrow. Top two conferences in the MCLA playing championship games on back-to-back days. Kind of nice that they're not going head-to-head. Timeout, BYU. We're tied at 5, 4.5 to play here in the first half. This is the RMLC Division I championship game presented by Movement Training Systems.
John Bacon, former linebacker at the University of Oregon. There isn't an app out there that takes your data, what you were able to do, define an intensity level, and then interpret that and provide a weight for you for the next set. We're doing things that make football players better power lifters, better direct line sprinters. That's what this is changing. There needs to be an evolution in how we train athletes. This is it.
The team. It teaches us the importance of setting goals, gives us an appreciation of diversity, provides stronger peer relationships and greater self-esteem, and shows the importance of working together. Play It Again Sports has the new and quality used sports and fit.
Has it for Colorado. Reno being chased by Labrum, who knocks the ball away, and it's going to be scooped up by Nesser. Sorry, that's not Nesser, that's Rose. Nesser's 4. Wharton scoops up the loose ball after it's batted out of Rose's cross. Wharton feeds Gonzalez. Gonzalez carries straight to the cage, walks behind the cage, and carries it around to the near side just above GLE. He's marked up by Nesser. And feeds the ball to the top for McElvaney. Now mismatch there, Severson on Snell. Gonzalez has the ball near side, marked up by Ash. Carries over the right shoulder of the goaltender Moon. Dodges above goal line extended. Rolls back just above. Gets the hands free, takes the shot. That one works the cross of Moon around in circles. And the ball is scooped up by Rose. It's fired all the way to the near side. Chasing it down is McElvaney. McElvaney gets the touch for Colorado. Ash rides McElvaney behind goal line extended. McElvaney will circle around the top, take the shot. It goes wide of the cage, and Roach has there for the backup. We're tied at 5 with just under 2.5 to play here in the first half. Complete reversal of what happened in the first quarter. Willows has the ball far side for Colorado. He gets pushed around by Nesser. Works the ball back up toward midfield. Feeds the ball to the wing for Esqueda. Esqueda is picked up defensively by Wardle. Wardle the catalyst to this run for BYU. Wharton feeds behind the cage to Esqueda. Esqueda's going to dance around the crease. Feed it to the inside, and dumping it home is Wharton. What a finish for Ben Wharton. And I'd have to give that one our MTS athletic move of the game so far.
So far, that's in pole position. I mean, a beautiful feed, too, by Carter Esqueda. Just almost a no-looker flip to Ben Wharton. I mean, he knows his teammates so well that he knows Ben's going to be creeping around the crease. And then Ben able to just power it through Mason Moon. It looked like Moon might have had a chance at it, but it just snuck between his legs, crossed over the line for a goal.
So we're going to head back to the X. Colorado scoring their first goal of the quarter. And quite honestly, their first goal in a long time, since midway through the first. We've got a flag down on the field. This one's going to be a cross-check coming up against BYU. Sorry, no, that's a cross-check on Simboski. Colorado fans a little unhappy with the officiating right this moment. You will never make the fans happy, will you, Max?
Well, they saw that the official closest to the Faceoff X, I believe it was 44, Connor Williams, who brushed up against him and then lost possession of the ball. So if anything, the CU fans should be happy. But as a player, you have to treat the official as part of the field.
Feet near side, shot goes wide by Johnson. I think Makarov got a piece of that one, pushing it wide. Colorado sags back into that zone defensively. Bernal with the ball up top. Feeds near side, kick to the inside. That shot goes high by Farley. Out of bounds on the far side. Right there for the chase is Severson. Severson cranks one on cage, goes wide. Guess if it goes wide, it's not on cage, but I think everybody catches my drift.
Johnson with his second so far on the game. Beautiful cross-field pass from Michael Perry. Just a bullet feed over the crossbar. Sneaks it over the heads of all the CU defenders. Finds Johnson front and center on the cage. Has anywhere to go with it. And he shoots it stick side low on Makarov. Back at the X, Williams versus Vitale. Vitale scoops up the loose ball.
Nice job by Vitale. He carries it to the offensive zone and feeds the far side wing. Timeout. Colorado, 33 seconds left to play. First half, the RMLC Division I Championship, presented by Movement Training Systems.
MTS has guided my training since high school. I thought I knew how to run, but after them breaking it down and showing you actually the fundamentals, I could feel myself getting faster after each session. I've had to kind of look in within myself and make it a goal of myself, just become a better athlete. And MTS has helped me get along that way.
And Eric Moss put this team on his back here.
It brings that individual personal training to the team concept. But they're scientific behind it. They are helping athletes become quicker, faster, and stronger.
At 5280 Waste Solutions, your trash is our business. We can handle any size job with our huge variety of roll-offs. We're the leader in commercial disposal with our industrial-sized containers. But our sweet spot is for you do-it-yourselfers and landscapers. Our newest can fits right into your garage. With 5280, you get...
Your brand is your business. Big Bite. You do you. We'll do the rest.
Back in Boulder, 6-6.
Heels, able to battle back with a couple of extra man-up goals, and then just being patient on offense.
Let's head it over to Scott Fields.
Scott Fields down here on the midfield here with Coach Neck.
If
BYU.
CU
Coach,
fans should look
what was the
this way,
difference there? You guys
like
came out a little flat.
Zach and Alex.
Colorado brought
They
you,
don't
and you
know
guys
this
got
is
that
happening.
momentum.
I want you to both come up
Yeah,
with
you
me.
bet. Well, you said it. We came out flat, right? Came out
and
flat.
they've
Couldn't
run
pick up ground
every
balls.
single
Goldie
game.
wasn't seeing the
If
ball.
they were not here,
And we're 3
it would
minutes into
not
the
go
game and we're down by
smoothly.
4 goals.
Zach and Alex,
We appreciate that. We're tied at 6 at halftime. We're going to step aside. We'll be back with more of the halftime show after this word from our sponsors.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA, and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
Hey, Edwin, get over there on the squat rack.
Your passion is your story. Big Bite tells stories. Your story is your brand. Big Bite builds brands. Your brand is your business. Big Bite. You do you. We'll do the rest.
We are back live here at halftime, tied at 6 apiece in the RMLC Division I Championship game here on the campus of CU at Kittredge Field. Max Frater and Dan Matthews here live with the call. Snow has died down a little bit here. A much nicer field we're dealing with as opposed to yesterday's game with CU taking on CSU. But Dan, tied at 6 apiece, did you really expect anything different between these two?
Not at all. Not at all. And it's just a testament to the lacrosse that these two teams play. Not a doubt about it. But earlier this week, I had an opportunity to catch up with Eric Law, Denver Outlaws midfielder, and talk to him about our title sponsor, Movement Training Systems.
Eric Law found the angle. Eric Law put this team on his back here.
Hi, we're here with MLL Championship MVP Eric Law from the Denver Outlaws. And Eric, the season just started up, so you're coming off an off-season of training. I hear you use MTS Athletics. Tell me a little bit about MTS.
Yeah, MTS is a great program that makes athletes better, makes them quicker, stronger, faster. The best part about MTS is you can have guys who, like myself, are trying to stay at the top of the game in the professional ranks, but then you also have, it's for the everyday athlete trying to get better, quicker, faster. I can't thank MTS enough for what they've done with me over the offseason. Usually, after you win a championship, it can be pretty easy to get relaxed and not work as hard as you did the year before, but it's always important after you win those, you know, that means we can actually see how to work even harder.
How is MTS designed to work with individual athletes as well as teams?
It does a great, incredible job of personalizing each workout for each individual athlete. Not just for the day, but up to minute, up to the set, up to the rep. When you're working out, you just update it right to the app right there, and it'll automatically, with the logarithms and algorithms that it has, just automatically puts it right there what you should be hitting at the next rep.
Eric, how does a coach best use MTS to guide his team through workouts?
The best part for a coach is the app just shows it right there for the coach. Instead of a coach having to be right in the weight room constantly, always checking up on his players, he can get it right to his app and right to his phone, and he can see exactly how each kid is progressing. He can see if kids are exceeding really well, or if some kids are slacking off and might need a little little bit more encouragement from him. But the other part of what's great about the app for a coach is it holds each player accountable for their own actions.
Is it designed more for speed, more for strength? Does it have a nice balance through the process?
Both, because once you kind of get the foundation of being able to lift and get your body in the right position, then that's when you can take it, and that's when you really work on the speed, and that's when your body's in the right position to really benefit both the strength and the movement.
Who's using MTS?
It's not just working with professional athletes and All-Americans, it's working with middle schoolers and working with high schoolers to really become better athletes and getting them more aware with their bodies and where their body should be to become faster and stronger and ultimately better players in the field.
Without movement training systems, this whole thing would not be possible, so we want to extend our biggest thanks to Movement Training Systems for being our title sponsor here for the RMLC Championships. We're going to step aside, take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have head coach John Galvin with Scott Field. You're watching the RMLC Championships presented by Movement Training Systems.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. You just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA, and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family-owned and player-operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
I was sinking deep underneath.
The specialists at Highlands Ranch Glass have one goal: to offer you the most professional commercial and residential glass services in the metro area. Our expert glass services include shower enclosures, window glass repair, and commercial storefronts. Our Glassworks operation allows us to customize any job for the perfect glass solution. We've been providing high-quality glass services in the metro area for over 60 years. Highlands Ranch Glass offers a clear difference. Call us today and see for yourself.
Scott Field's down here on the field. Snow's starting to come down. Coach Galvin, you came out, you put them back on their heels. So what are we going to see in the second half to really get back that intensity that you started with?
So let's keep moving the ball around. I mean, I think getting some good clears, and we'll hopefully get back on some good transition.
How much has the weather really affected your weekend for you guys?
Nothing. I mean, it's just weather. Everyone's playing the same stuff.
All right. Well, good luck the second half. Back to you, Dan, in the booth.
Hey, thanks, Scott. We appreciate it. Let's go over some halftime stats, Max. CU out shooting BYU 25-17. Controlling the turnovers, only 10 in the first half combined between the two. 4 for Colorado, 6 for BYU. Colorado winning the face-off battle, but the goaltending for BYU right now, the difference and why we're tied, Mason Moon.
Right, I see two big key stats that have led to this tie. One is face-offs in favor of CU and Broderick Vitale really stepping up his game after struggling against a quality face-off opponent, Ryan Chamberlain, last night, but so far going 8 for 13, winning the battle against Connor Williams. On the other side, Mason Moon playing a fantastic game. As Coach Snell said in the first couple of minutes to start the game, wasn't seeing the ball very well. I think that was his coach being pretty hard on his goaltender. Mason Moon seeing a lot of shots, but has cleaned it up since then. Posted 7 so far. He should see a double-digit save day by the end of these last quarters.
Tied at 6. 30 minutes of lacrosse to decide the RMLC champion. Our referees heading to midfield to meet with Broderick Vitale and Connor Williams and get this puppy underway.
Last stat that pops out to me before we start the second half, Dan. CU 0 for 2 on their extra man opportunities. BYU 2 for 2. So the Cougars shooting less than the Buffs have the same amount of opportunities with an extra man, and they're making more of their shots count.
Don't go away, folks. 6-6. It's just like starting over again. I think there was a John Lennon song called Starting Over, wasn't there?
Certainly applies in this game. We're back at 0-0.
Ball's kicked on the opening faceoff of the second half. Kean Reno, who's popped a goal in each of the last 2 games as a defensive midfielder, works the ball into the offensive zone for Colorado and kicks it to Carter Esqueda. Esqueda is going to feed McIlvaney. McIlvaney steps down, cranks the shot, and a save made by Moon. That's number 8. Ball worked into midfield and absolutely breaking the stick of Cottrell. And it's going to be Cottrell, to add insult to injury, that takes the penalty.
Yeah, no doubt Cottrell, lined up that shot through and through, put his helmet into Connor Williams as he was coming down the field, broke his stick, and now BYU has a free shot.
Let's see what BYU does with this free possession. Work to the far side. Bernal kicks it back behind the cage. Ball worked to the middle of the field. Comes loose. Whistle blows. And we'll have a stoppage in play. Awaiting the call from our officials.
BYU 100% with an extra attacker on the field. They'll get another shot at it. We saw some beautifully executed EMO possessions last night with BYU against Utah. All it takes is one skip pass to completely shred an extra man or a man down defense, and BYU was lights out on that last night.
BYU with possession, looking to regain the lead. Feed goes down low, shot, save made, bounces off. I believe it bounced off Makarov, may have hit the crossbar. Popped out front.
Snell has it, and that's the best guy to have the ball in his stick.
Snell works it into the zone. Settles the offense for Colorado. And they're going to work the penalty clock.
20 seconds on the penalty. Esqueda inverts all the way up close to midfield.
He's marked up defensively by Wardle. Carries back into the box. Drops it for Wise. Wise is going to back it out. 3 seconds left to go on the penalty, and it's kicked up top. Gonzalez will start the run for Colorado. Penalty's expired. It's McIlvaney coming through the box. He gets the feed from Gonzalez. Takes Nesser to the rack. Carries all the way down to goal line extended. Nice ride there and a slide by Rose defensively for BYU. Forced McIlvaney to goal line extended, and they have to reset the entire offense. Run through Russell. Kick to Esqueda in the middle of the field. Ball's loose on the turf. 50-50 ground ball or air ball, depending on how you want to look at it. And Rose scoops it up for BYU. Works it near side for Taylor.
Dan on the other
riding Taylor.
The other side of the field, Brian Mettendorf checks in for Nick Cottrell after the broken stick on the penalty.
Feed to the inside. Save made by Makarov on the one-timer by Farley. Here goes Jackson Marlowe across midfield. He's being hacked at by Bernal. He'll circle it back out and give it to Russell. Snow falling again in Boulder, and the field starting to turn white. Gonzalez cranks one, and the save's made by Moon. That's number 9. Ball still loose on the turf. Pops out near side for Rose. Rose is going to get the carry across midfield for BYU. Russell will pick him up there. Rose will turn and feed the ball to Bernal. Bernal will kick it to Johnson down low off the wing, and Johnson carries the goal line expended, works it back behind the cage, and it circles all the way up top for Labrum. Nearly 4 minutes gone by here in the third period. No goals yet in the second half, so we're still tied at 6. Johnson behind the cage, works it to Waddups. Waddups all the way up top for Labrum, and Labrum's going to kick it far side for Bernal. Bernal works to the middle of the field, face dodge, feeds near side for Farley. Farley kicks it back up top to Labrum. Nice job defensively by Penn Lukens for Colorado. Coming up above goal line extended, Makarov makes the save on the shot by Johnson. Cottrell back into the game now for Colorado. Feed goes to Johnson, over to Labrum. Labrum has to carry down to goal line extended. Being ridden hard there by Larson. Larson doing a nice job defensively. We've got a whistle on the field. Ball's going to be reset up top on the near side. I believe there was a ball on the field on the back, on the end line. Restart for Bernal. Feeds Farley. Farley's going to carry down the far side alley and feed it behind the cage to Johnson over Makarov's left shoulder. Back to Farley, who will carry behind the cage to X. He's being worked on by Russell. Russell doing a nice job on the stick of Farley. Feet comes up top, comes loose. Johnson scoops it up. Cottrell there on the ride, really riding the hands hard of Johnson. Ball gets fed into the middle of the field and picked off by Larson. And Colorado will start to clear. It's going to be Cottrell on the near side. Cottrell gets met up by Bernal just across the midfield stripe. Bernal takes the ball away from Cottrell, but it's going to be Larson pushing it forward, and the ball scooped up by BYU. That's Needs. Ball still loose on the far side, goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Cougars.
Pretty ugly there between both teams trying to scoop up that loose ball. Could say that weather is having an effect as these guys are sliding around a little bit with the snow covering the field.
All I gotta say is that the April showers better bring some May flowers, because this is crazy in Colorado.
It's your typical middle of spring snowstorm. Nothing we haven't seen before.
No, we've seen it. It's just uncalled for. With the weather we've had, to have this weather this weekend was just poor timing by old Mother Nature. Perry has the ball back in the far side corner. He's going to kick it up top to Bentley. Then it'll work its way to the near side for Tunick. Tunick carries to the near side wing. Nice ride by Snell. Feeds Bentley. Ball worked back over to Bertha. Bertha throws it away, intended for Bentley.
That was Blake Sandman with a very well-timed check as Bertha just trying to skip the ball across the field, working around the perimeter. Sandman gets on his hands just at the right moment, and that ball flies out of bounds.
Ball on the far side. Cottrell gives it back to Makarov. Over to Snell. Snell's going to just run right past Farley. Into the offensive zone. Snell feeds goal line extended to Skatha. Skatha carries it back behind the cage. Knocked up defensively by Needs. Ball gets fed to the far corner for Barker. Barker sets the offense at X.
They're telling Jay Snell to stay because he's got Winston Farley on.
Shot comes from Barker. It's kicked wide by Moon. I've just been told by our crack statistician David Leach that Snell means fast in German. Is that what you said? Means fast in German. Max, you're German. Is that accurate?
I can confirm that. I did take a couple of German classes in high school and college, so I will roll with our master statistician on that one.
Impressive. The crack crew we've got here. Ball work near side for Mr. Fast, Jay Snell. He carries up, takes the shot. That one goes wide of the cage. Snell gets knocked down by the much smaller Farley at 5'9", $170, knocking Snell on his tail end. Snell at 6'4", 220. And I've been told by Snell's mom he's really 6'6". But we'll go with what the stat book says. Parker has the ball at X for Colorado. Carries up above goal line extended near side. Gets his hands free. Has nowhere to go, though. Nice slide there by Needs. McElvaney has the ball up top now for Colorado. He's got Nesser in tow. Cuts to the inside. Had Nesser beat. Comes all the way to the left side. Nesser recovers. Slide comes from Wardle. McElvaney all the way around the back. Up to the front. Feeds the ball up top for Gonzalez. Gonzalez goes left. Little shake and bake. Nice right there defensively by Hanley. The ball comes loose. The feet near side for Nesser, and Nesser will carry across midfield. Esqueda is not going to catch him. No goals scored after a frantic first half.
Tough no call there by the officials as Gonzalez hits the turf. It's one thing to put your hands up as a defender. You've got your stick under his arm, not attempting to hold him, but the defender for BYU actually pushed Gonzalez onto the turf. I mean, that was a pretty textbook hold there.
Another nice crowd here in Colorado for this BYU Colorado matchup in the RMLC Division I Championship. Perry with the ball behind the cage, gets knocked down by Cottrell on the cross. I'm not sure why that flag's out. It was a very clean hit in my opinion. Ball worked to the top. Comes loose. Simboski scoops it up and the whistle will blow. Max, your thoughts?
I could see where the referee was coming from. Cottrell got a stick on the foot of, was that Farley who was behind the cage? Maybe Michael Perry?
Yeah, Perry.
The ball carrier. Yeah, Cottrell did get a piece of his foot that led to him tripping it. I was thinking they might let it go as kind of a wash, kind of a makeup no call for the hold that they missed on BYU, but referee had a second to think about it, threw the flag late. Not saying that he's wrong.
Farley with the ball for BYU on the restart from the far side, and BYU throws it away. They won't take advantage of the EMO.
Karoff will get the restart. See he's man down, so he will be marked up.
Karoff with the hustle.
He'll have to be careful around that crease, too. If he steps in, it's a turnover.
He's just going to stand there.
He's also got
penalty off. He's ultimately going to just heave it downfield.
He's got 20
or
seconds.
Or he's going to run up the field. Here goes Makaroff. Chucks it down the field into the corner. Colorado's going to be... Oh, Esqueda with the nice chase in the corner. Wharton feeds Roach. Roach gets hung up by Wardle. And that did exactly what Colorado wanted it to do. It burned the penalty. BYU in transition coming into the offensive zone. Ball gets thrown away. Snell gives chase. BYU retains possession. I'm guessing that must have been a tip on the pass. Ball works near side high now. Watts has it. He feeds it for Labrum. We are 2/3 of the way through period number 3. No goals have been scored here in the third period after 12 in the first half. Labrum near side high gets marked up by Marlowe. Marlowe's chasing Labrum. Labrum will feed the ball behind the cage, and it comes all the way back out top for Wattups. Wattups beats Palage, fires one high over the crossbar though. Ball gets work behind the cage now. Perry near side. Feeds Severson. Severson gets the inside, takes the shot. Makaroff deflects it wide of the cage. Severson had a great look after having 4 goals yesterday. Still scoreless today for Severson.
He was itching for that upper right corner. Missed it over the top of the crossbar. He still has the best matchup as Bernal has Snell and Labrum drop the pole of Marlowe.
Bernal carries behind the cage, feeds it near side wing for Wattups, who feeds Severson across the field. Severson beats Palitz and scores. 7-6 BYU.
That's the way it was supposed to work out. As I mentioned, you had Labrum who drew the pole of Jackson Marlowe. And then on the far side, Snell was covering up Connor Bernal. So you had Ben Palitz, who, I mean, is a great short stick defender in his own right, but if you're Ben Severanson, you have to win that matchup for your offense, and that's exactly what he did.
BYU has outshot Colorado 7-3 here in this period in the third quarter. We're back at the X. Near side wing is Larson for Colorado. Simboski Battles. Larson does a great job scooping up the loose ball and then promptly throws it away for Colorado. Colorado struggling with unsettled situations.
First lead of the game for the visiting Cougars here as they're up 7-6.
Ball gets fed all the way down the field. Makarov can't come up with it. It's kept inbounds by Colorado. It'll remain BYU ball. Makarov has to hustle back to his cage. Feed comes up top for Labrum. Labrum will start the offense for BYU. Labrum on the near side, trying to communicate with his team. The crowd is pretty loud. It's pretty intense here in Boulder. Feed comes up top for Severson. He's going to feed it up further along for Bernal. Bernal kicks it back to Labrum, who drops it behind goal line extended for Waddups. Nice ball movement by BYU. Bernal carries down the near side to the wing and feeds it behind the cage now. Waddups looks for Perry on the far side. Skip pass all the way up top. There's a shot and a save by Makarov. There's a great look from Perry all the way across the field to Bernal, but Makarov tracked it every inch of the way. Colorado with the ball. That's Carta Esqueda. Feeding the ball near side. Roach can't find it. Comes loose. And it's going to be skipped up by Wardle on the near side. Wardle heading toward the cage. He's going to feed near side. Waddup scores. BYU has a 2-goal lead.
And the Buffs got caught dead to rights. Nick Cottrell, the only defender back there in front of Jensen Makarov. Wardle had two options to go or throw the ball to. He ended up choosing Waddups on the right wing. Waddups throws one fake and puts it in the back of the cage.
Let's face reality here, though. As big as this game is emotionally to these teams, they're both dancing.
There's no question, but I mean, there is a rivalry between these two. I mean, these two teams have been two of the best in the MCLA for the last decade. So there's always bragging rights on the line. This time there's a trophy, a conference championship on the line. These two teams will never let up when they play each other.
8-6, BYU with 93 seconds left to go in period number 3. Colorado has only scored one goal since about the midway point of period number 1. Ball near side. Wise has it. Feeds Russell, subbing through the box. Russell's going to carry down the far side alley and feed behind the cage for Roach. Roach is going to go one-on-one with Wardle, the defense, or one of the defensive players of the game, or key players of the game. And there's no backup for Colorado on the shot. It's BYU ball. Last CU goal was with 1:46 left in the second quarter. So CU has now had 2 extended periods without scoring in this game. They've gone just over 15 minutes now, and they had gone about 10 minutes before. Perry gets forced beyond goal line extended by Penn Lukens, and that's lucky for Colorado because Makarov wasn't in his cage.
And it was great recovery defense there by Penn Lukens, or else Michael Perry had a beeline to the goal.
Ball work behind the cage, through Perry and over to Farley. Farley's going to kick it all the way up top for Tunick, and Tunick will feed the far side wing. Waddups, who scored the last one, kicks it down to goal line extended, and it works behind the cage through Perry to Farley. Farley feeds far side for Waddups. Waddups with the stutter step to the middle of the field, feeds it to the top. 3 seconds left. Perry gets one off. That one goes wide, bounces off of a player, and it's 8-6 at the end of 3. BYU leading Colorado. These are the RMLC Division I championship game presented by Movement Training Systems.
The team. It teaches us the importance of setting goals, gives us an appreciation of diversity, provides stronger peer relationships and greater self-esteem, and shows the importance of working together. Play It Again Sports has the new and quality used sports and fitness gear for all teams, and we also pay on the spot for your gear from last season. We are on your team. Play It Again Sports, the official sponsor of all those who play.
Your passion is your story. Big Bite tells stories. Your story is your brand. Big Bite builds brands. Your brand is your business. Big Bite. You do you. We'll do the rest.
It's the best smoke show in Denver. GQ Barbecue is Colorado's premier competitive barbecue team, and now you can experience the championship-winning flavors. Fire, smoke, and time, combined with the finest quality meats, best seasonings, and freshest ingredients, make for the best barbecue around. Stop in for our championship-winning brisket, ribs, wings, and sausage, or have us cater your next event. Eat championship barbecue every day at GQ Barbecue.
Scott Fields back here on the sideline. Just got it out of the huddle with Coach Galvin and his whole squad, and really just working on loosening up. They got a little tight there in the third. Obviously got back on their heels, down now 2 goals. But Coach Galvin wants them to get back together, get loose, and get back into the game that they started the game with. Gentlemen, back to you.
Face-off win for BYU to start the fourth. They have a 2-goal lead. Colorado needs possessions and needs to capitalize. Needs is going to work his way up the near side. He's going to be met at midfield by Simboski and Jackson Marlowe. He feeds the middle of the field for Miller, and Miller will carry to the far side and pop it down low for Farley. Farley will set the offense. BYU in the midst of wholesale substitutions. Only 3 offensive players on the field for the Cougars right now. Now 5, now 6. BYU complete substitutions. Johnson feeds Bernal up at the top. Kicked over to Labrum, and Labrum feeds the far side wing. Ball worked all the way around by BYU. Now they'll reverse field. Farley inside. Shot goes wide by Waddups. Ball kicked up top for Labrum, who's going to feed the near side for Bernal. Bernal down to Johnson. Waddups up top for Bernal. Through Farley. Bernal spins. Feeds Severson. Back over to Labrum. To the inside. There's a shot. That one rings off the pipe. It's going to be scooped up by Colorado on the near side. Key and Reno beats 2 guys. Gets knocked over. Flagged down. 17.
Zach
Labrum is going to head off the field. He's not sure what happened. He's going to get called for a slash. It'll be Colorado ball. Ben Wharton will start with it right in front of our broadcast tent. Not so much a booth, because it certainly doesn't keep us warm. But it is our broadcast position.
To be honest, Dan, I thought Kean Rio was coming straight into our broadcast tent. He had 2 BYU defenders.
I was thinking about that, but
coming straight at him, tiptoeing the near sideline right in front of us.
I was ready to catch him.
The ball was the only thing that came close to us, but honestly, Kean Rio was going to try and outrun those guys. It wasn't going to work, but he still drew the penalty on Labrum.
Colorado hasn't scored on the man up yet this afternoon. Gonzalez to Wise, to Roach, to Wise, back up top for Gonzalez. He kicks it to Roach. Roach is all alone, takes the shot, and the save is made by Moon. We were talking during the break about player of the game, and we were thinking Wardle, because without that goal at the end of the first quarter, we're probably not sitting here with the confidence that BYU has. But Mason Moon has been lights out since the first 7 minutes of the game.
Yeah, he's blocked shots against all of the best shooters for CU. And he's been the core reason that BYU has a 2-goal lead.
The Cougars called a timeout. The flag is down on the field. 12:38 left to go, fourth quarter, 8-6 Cougars. This is the RMLC Division I Championship game presented by Movement Training Systems.
John Bacon, former linebacker at the University of Oregon. There isn't an app out there that takes your data of what you were able to do, define an intensity level, and then interpret that and provide a weight for you for the next set. We're doing things that make football players better power lifters, better direct line sprinters. That's what this is changing. There needs to be an evolution in how we train athletes. This is it.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA, and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
At 5280 Waste Solutions, your trash is our business. We can handle any size job with our huge variety of roll-offs. We're the leader in commercial disposal with our industrial-sized containers. But our sweet spot is for you do-it-yourselfers and landscapers. Our newest can fits right into your garage. With 5280, you get one price and no hidden fees. When it's time to clean, think green. At 5280, we can't wait to get our hands on your trash.
Jake Gonzalez sitting in the sin bin for Colorado. BYU 11 seconds to kill on the penalty to Labrum. They'll sit on it, wait for Labrum to make his appearance on the field, and it'll actually be Severson who comes on instead of Labrum. Ball gets worked near side Johnson, behind the cage for Perry. Severson. And BYU's up 3.
4 penalties on CU, 4 goals for BYU. Cougars up 3 now. Imagine where this game would be, A, without that shot from Wardle on their defensive side to end the first period, and then B, with BYU being so efficient. Shooting batting 1,000 right now.
100% on the EMO, and when you can't defend when you go man down, that's not going to help you at all. So BYU up 9-6. There's still 12 minutes left, more than 12 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. We saw Colorado explode for 4 quick goals in the first quarter. Those 4 goals coming within the first 5 minutes of that first quarter. So this game far from out of reach for the Buffaloes, but they got to get it together in a hurry. And you're not doing yourself any favors by not winning faceoffs. Williams with the ball for BYU.
And Broderick Vitale, a huge part of that 4-goal run, as he was lights out at the faceoff X to start the game. He just loses this one. BYU comes up with it, transition, but the referee's going to blow the play dead.
The whistle blows. It's going to be... I'm not sure what the call is, but the ball's awarded to Colorado. I couldn't see it on the far side. Ball gets worked up to midfield for Russell. Colorado is over 30 minutes without a goal. Is that right? I thought it was 1 minute into the second period. Is that when the last goal was, Dave? At the 1:46 mark of the second period. So Colorado over 30 minutes without a goal here. 9-6 BYU. The Buffaloes offense that averages 16 goals a game has been stifled since very early in the second period.
This is where you ask for McIlvaney, who has the ball right now, to step up and make a play, and he gets stripped.
Yeah, that's Wardle. Wardle's going to get the carry into the offensive zone. Or that's not Wardle, I'm sorry. That is Taylor. Saw that 3 on the near side. Had to make the assumption it was Wardle with how well he's played today. Labrum feeds Severson. Severson steps to the inside. His hands are free. Shoots and scores. BYU starting to run away with this one. 10-6. The Cougars have all of the momentum right now. Colorado just real uncertain.
Well, and the CU defense was just a mess there. I mean, Severson coming out of the box with a full head of steam, but it looked like Ben Lukens panicked. He jumped Severson, and he didn't get his body position right, so Severson blows past him, and that leaves him wide open for the jump shot against Makarov. So poor positioning there by the normally faithful Lukens, the long pull defender.
BYU 10, Colorado 6. Colorado is now sitting at about 34 minutes without a goal, and you can't have a drought like that. And I think the defense by BYU has been phenomenal, but the offense for Colorado really Vitale has just kind of stopped moving their feet. The off-ball movement has disappeared, and they're not doing what they need to be doing on the offensive end.
Could we actually see CU not score 10 goals in a game? At home, no less, in the conference championship game.
Anything is possible at this point. Vitale is back at the X for Colorado. It starts there, and Vitale hasn't been winning faceoffs. And just as I say that, Vitale comes up with one. He carries into the offensive zone and feeds near side for Wharton. Wharton kicks over to Roach. Roach can't hang on to the ball, has to chase it back down. He'll work it down to the wing. Feed comes all the way up top for Russell. That was dangerous. Russell is going to work his way down the far side. Swim to the inside. Fire a shot on cage and score. 10-7. The drought's over.
From Ryan Russell, of all people. Not saying he's a good shooter, but I don't think he's taken a shot all game today. And that one was almost a changeup as he goes for the swim move, puts the stick in his left hand, fires it sidearm. But it didn't look like he put all of his power behind it, but fantastic placement as you heard it clink off the far side pipe.
And Max, it all started at the X. You won the face-off. You got a nice offensive possession. And look, you convert.
It always does. And they have the right pieces to make this comeback. There's no doubt. It starts at the X with Vitale, who started off this game on fire, won the draw clean there. Let's see if we can get a make it take it for the Buffs.
Vitale wins the face-off. That's huge. Kicks it. Back to Sandman. Sandman gets stuck on the far sideline. The ball's going to go out of bounds. Sandman pushes one of the BYU players out. See what the officials are going to call here on that far side. We're awaiting the official call as to whose possession it's going to be. No signal yet.
I like the move by Coach Snell to put Max Nesser on the sideline for the faceoffs there, because you saw as soon as Vitale won it to himself, boom, you've got one of the best long poles in the MCLA hacking all over you. So if you know that Vitale is starting to feel his groove, you've got to put your best defensive player on there. Try and take that ball away immediately.
BYU ball, just under 10 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. It's 10-7 Cougars. Game far from over. Colorado's going to need a couple of defensive stops. It'll definitely help if they can stay out of the sin bin. Ball gets worked around to the top. Bertha carries down the right side, rolls back, feeds it up top, and over to Waddups it goes. BYU's passing has just been crisp. Not a lot of drop balls. They work the ball around very well. There's a shot. That one's going to go wide. Give the chase to Perry for BYU.
That's the sign of a title contender, a team that's not playing with the ball on the turf.
Work to the inside. Shot by Barnall goes wide. It's backed up by Perry in the near side corner. Perry comes around the cage. Whistle blows, and they were in the crease.
Huge turnover for BYU as CU starting to pick up a little momentum off the goal from Ryan Russell. Snell gets it to McElvaney.
And McElvaney walks it into the box. Gets the touch for Colorado. 8:56 to play, fourth quarter. McElvaney down the far side wing. He rolls back to the top. Gonzalez is way up high. McElvaney fires one. That's a possession shot. Wharton there for the backup. Will reset the Colorado offense.
Russell on Labrum here. Another shot saved by Mason Moon.
Russell
picks up his own rebound.
And scores. Russell, 2 in a row. 10-8.
The unlikely hero for the Buffs, Ryan Russell. You've got Jake Gonzalez and Colin McElvaney on the same line, but it's Ryan Russell with back-to-back goals to pull this one within 2.
So back comes Colorado. I've got 2 pairs of socks on, big old winter boots, and my toes are freezing. I can only imagine what it's like out there for the players right now.
They're not feeling a dang thing. In a 2-goal game with the conference title on the line.
That's because the toes have gotten numb by now.
Weather is not a factor by any means. These guys can't hear the crowd. They don't feel the weather. They're completely tuned into this game.
BYU wins the faceoff. Moon gets it from Nesser and feeds it over to Wardle. Wardle looking upfield. He's got needs. Over on the near side and launches the ball practically into the parking lot.
Yeah, you're asking for a lot there. Wardle, accurate when there's no goalie in the crease, but when you're trying to hit a defender on the opposite side of the field, that's a lot to ask.
Lucan carries into the offensive zone and drops it for Gonzalez, who kicks to Esqueda. Esqueda's going to bring it up the near side and feed the far side for McElvain. So right now the hero has been Ryan Russell for Colorado. Jake Gonzalez has the ball near side. He's marked up by Max Ash. Carries the ball up top, scores! Gonzalez brings it within 1.
Love the way that Jake Gonzalez plays. I mean, just because he gets stuffed going down the alley on the first dodge, that means absolutely nothing to that kid. He just absorbs the blow from the defensive midfielder, turns and changes directions, gets the stick into his strong hand. Once again, just no angles. Love the way that Jake Gonzalez can shoot far side, just trusting his shot, trusting his practice, with little to no angle to work with.
That was the first broken BYU clear since the first clear of the game. So only 2 failed clears for BYU in this entire game. Face-off win, BYU. Miller scoops it up for the Cougars and carries it into the offensive zone. Feeds it behind the cage for Farley. Farley works to Perry near side. BYU now clinging to a 1-goal lead after it had been risen to 4. 3 consecutive Colorado goals. And I told you all not to go anywhere, so if you didn't listen, that's your problem. Because this is MCLA lacrosse at its best. Ball gets worked down low. Waddups kicks it to Farley on the wing. And it's worked up top for Severson. Severson's going to be marked up by Simbo. Severson beats Simbo, feeds the ball behind the cage. That's Perry. Perry looks to Labrum, who kicks it up top for Bertha. Bertha goes one-on-one with Snell. Gets pushed down to goal line extended and has to switch lefty and pull it back out. What a one-timer. Bertha inside to Farley, and BYU extends the lead back to 2.
And a beautiful look there by Bertha. Looked like he was just going to reverse field, kick the ball back up top, and let BYU try and isolate from up top. But he finds a cutting Farley. Farley doesn't even need the cradle. Soon as the ball touches the mesh in his stick, he flicks his wrist and puts the far side on Makarov.
11-9 is our score. BYU leads Colorado. 6.5 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Far from over. BYU fans heckling Nesser on the near sideline. Face-off is going to be controlled by Kian Reno. Reno gets pushed for a little bit from behind. Gets through his man, works the ball into the box, flips to the far side. Ball comes up top for Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to carry down the near side. He'll take an odd angle shot. That's one where I'd switch righty. Create more opportunity. Restart comes in the far side corner. Russell. He's got 2 goals to bring Colorado back into this one. The ball works through Esqueda over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to be picked up by Haugard. Gonzalez dances around the crease, comes up top, tries to fire for that upper right 90. It goes wide. Esqueda will get the backup for the Buffaloes.
BYU's got the right idea. If Gonzalez is going to be icing from behind the cage, the slide has to come quick because you know Gonzalez is a shoot-first type of player.
Here comes Russell. He's the hero so far for Colorado. Carries it down to GLE, circles back. Russell out of Valor Christian High School, down in Highlands Ranch. Kicks to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, back and forth game. Scores! Inside the far pipe. 11-10.
I'm trying to figure out how he does it, Dan, to be honest. I mean, the kid was maybe a yard up from goal line extended. Only place he could have put that was near side pipe.
That's 4 for Jake.
And counting. I mean, what's stopping this kid right now? If he's got the outside shot with time and room, he's going to score. If he's going down the alley with a defender on his back, no angle, he's still going to score. I mean, Jake Gonzalez is having himself an incredible game.
Sidelines to our left lined with Buffalo fans. Sidelines to our right, not so much the same with Cougar fans. A hold on the faceoff is going to give Colorado the ball with an opportunity to tie. Simbo carries it down from midfield, feeds Wharton. Wharton is going to circle all the way up to the top and kick it to McElvaney. McElvaney over to Russell, picked up by Ash. Russell cuts to the inside, heads toward the cage, tries to feed Esqueda. Esqueda gets rocked on the inside, completely defenseless by Boston Hanley. It was a clean hit though, folks. The clear comes up to the top for Needs, who carries into the offensive zone for BYU. Timeout for the boys in blue. 11-10. They lead this one with 4:48 to play in quarter number 4. The RMLC Division I Championship presented by Movement Training Systems.
MTS has guided my training since high school. I thought I knew how to run, but after them breaking it down and showing you actually the fundamentals, I could feel myself getting faster after each session. I've had to kind of look in within myself and make it a goal of myself just to become a better athlete, and MTS has helped me get along that way.
And Eric Loss put this team on his back here.
It brings that individual personal training to the team concept. But they're scientific behind it. They are helping athletes become quicker, faster, and stronger.
I was sinking deep underneath.
Your passion is your story. Big Bite tells stories. Your story is your brand. Big Bite builds brands. Your brand is your business. Big Bite. You do you. We'll do the rest.
Okay, we're good to go.
Scott Fields back here on the sideline. Snow still coming down. Intensity back here on both benches picking up. Coach Galvin really focused with his defense, especially his short stick middies. Transition is hugely important here. Really got to focus on getting that ball up. They have 2 timeouts. They can use them if they need them, but really got to work on transitioning that ball when they get it back here. But the coaching staff as a whole, look at every play, 1 play at a time. All right, gentlemen, back to you in the booth.
Bernal feeds behind the cage for Perry. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate that report. They're right. Transition vital for Colorado right now. Ball comes up top for Labrum, marked up by Snell. Love that matchup. 2 big men going at it. Ball worked into the near side for Bernal. Back over to Labrum. Snell's going to eyeball him, so he'll kick it back to Perry, who's going to draw the pull of Lukens. Perry beats Lukens to the near side. Slide comes. Nice job there by Sandman. Ball gets kicked all the way around to the top now for Labrum. He's going to go left on Snell, try to work to the inside, has to circle back. 3 men collapse for the Buffaloes. Lukin switches defensively onto Labrum, and the ball comes near side now for Severson. Severson has been the star of the tournament for BYU. Timer's on, shot clock gone. There's a shot that goes wide. Shot clock will continue. It's at 26 seconds. Ball comes to the top. BYU has it. Barnall marked up defensively by Babbitt. Kick to the middle. Snell gets beat. Shot. Goal. Credit that one for Labrum. Snell got caught trying to cherry pick the pass.
It's an all or nothing play right there by the short stick T-Midi and Snell. Normally so sound, but Labrum able to hang on to that ball and had daylight in front of him. Makarov didn't stand too much of a chance.
So we're going to head back to the X. Two-goal game. That's his third goal for Labrum. So many potential players of the game right now. I still got to stick with Wardle or Moon. Maybe co-players of the game?
I think Labrum is making a case for himself with that late goal too.
It's a two-goal game. Esqueda with the ball for Colorado. He carries it across the top, picks up a screen, rolls back, top side. He feeds McIlvaney. McIlvaney will charge down the left alley. Can't get his hands free, so he'll carry behind the cage to X. Guess who's on him? Defensive Player of the Year in Nesser. Gonzalez with the ball. He's got 4 today. Gonzalez is going to come up to goal line extended. Dodges goal line extended, gets the inside, ball's taken away. It's loose on the turf. 50-50 ground ball is going to be scooped up by Russell. Russell loses it. Guess who? Wardle. 12-10. Cougars with the lead. Wardle clears the ball across midfield. Feeds it to the near side for Perry, and Perry kicks it behind the cage for Farley. BYU will settle in offensively. Here comes the ride for Colorado. They've got to ride hard and slide fast. Buffs down 2. Ball comes to the top. Severson picked up by Reno.
That was about as good of a pickpocket as I've seen in the game of lacrosse. Beautiful play by Wardle to steal that one from Ryan Russell, get the ball on the turf, get his own ground ball, and clears the play.
Feed inside. Goal. Farley off the feed from the middle by Severson.
Farley with his second quick stick. 3-goal game with 1:30. But we're watching the right two teams to see this one get tied up. This one will not go quietly into the night, I have no doubt.
Face-off critical here. A BYU win on this face-off, and they will look to run out the clock. 3 face-off wins in a row for Vitale. 16 of 25 on the day. 64%. That's huge. Never needed one more than he needs this one. Vitale pushes it forward. The ball's still loose. He's going to get the face-off win. Zimboski for Colorado. He's going to head to the cage. Miller gets in his way. Zimboski rifles one on cage for Moon. Moon stuffs it. Feeds the ball near side for Needs. Up to Handley. Handley can't control it. Ball's loose. Handley's cross comes out of his hand, and it's going to belong to Colorado on the near side. Hart Wise with it. Wise steps on. The whistle blows. We're back underway. Quick restart. Feed. Wharton. Colorado needs goals and needs them in a hurry. Wharton sweeps across the top. Has to pull the ball back out. Goes to McIlvaney. McIlvaney hop, skip, and a jump to the inside. Fires one toward the cage, and that one doesn't get through. But Hart Wise finishes it for Colorado. 13-11. 35 seconds left.
Cougar defense had McIlvaney hung up as he was loading up for that shot. Right bounce for the Buffs, though, as Hart Wise in the right place, able to scoop it up right on the crease, bury it between the legs of Moon.
It's been a treat, folks, to bring you this RMLC tournament. The lacrosse has been great. The weather, not so much. But when you're sitting out here watching lacrosse, it's fun no matter what's going on. Another face-off win for Vitale. Got to go quick. McIlvaney looking over his shoulder. 30 seconds. McIlvaney is going to take that hop step, come to the near side. He feeds. Escada, skip pass inside. Russell save. Moon, BYU can seal the deal here. Hanley rifles one all the way down the field. Makarov steals it. Rifles one toward the cage. It's going to be picked off by Moon, and BYU are going to be the RMLC Division I champions of 2017.
It's difficult to say. I was not seeing this one coming at all with the way that CU played all season, and winning one earlier against BYU just 2 weeks ago, but also not surprised because of the way that BYU played last night. I mean, these two teams are both so talented. BYU is as much of a justifiable conference champ as CU, and they proved it here tonight. What a way to go into the dance as RMLC champs.
What an incredible lacrosse game we witnessed here this afternoon, folks. BYU a 13-11 win over the University of Colorado. We're going to be a couple of minutes before we're going to be able to get any interviews with our player of the game. And Max, are we in agreement that it's got to be Wardle?
After that last takeaway, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that was smooth as butter. The kid was money on defense all day. Even he's got a goal and an assist as a defensive player. At least one caused turnover that I know of, and a ground ball. I'm sure there's more on that. Mason Moon also with 13 saves. One heck of a day for the freshman goaltender. His first year as a collegiate player, and he's a conference champ.
Yeah, an impressive performance defensively for BYU, period, across the board. The Cougars were phenomenal, really shutting down Colorado for over 30 minutes here in the game. And we're going to step aside. We'll be back with our player and coach of the game interview right after this. This is the RMLC Championship presented by Movement Training Systems.
MTS has guided my training since high school. I thought I knew how to run, but after them breaking it down and showing you actually the fundamentals, I could feel myself getting faster after each session. I've had to kind of look in within myself and make it a goal of myself just to become a better athlete, and MTS has helped me get along that way.
And Eric Moss put this team on his back here.
It brings that individual personal training to the team concept. But they're scientific behind it. They are helping athletes become quicker, faster, and stronger.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA, and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
The team. It teaches us the importance of setting goals, gives us an appreciation of diversity, provides stronger peer relationships and greater self-esteem, and shows the importance of working together. Play It Again Sports has the new and quality used sports and fitness gear for all teams, and we also pay on the spot for your gear from last season. We are on your team. Play It Again Sports, the official sponsor of all those who play.
The postgame is brought to you by CU Sports Medicine and Performance Center in partnership with Boulder Community Health.
Welcome back to Boulder, everybody. It is the CU Sports Medicine and Physical Performance Center post-game show here at the RMLC Championships. And what a game we witnessed here between the BYU Cougars and the University of Colorado Buffaloes. These two very well could meet again. It's going to be a couple minutes here before we're going to get the coach and our player of the game, Harrison Wardle, because they get to get a trophy now.
The lowest seed in the RMLC tournament comes away with the crown. I mean, it's hard to call BYU the lower seed, especially the way that they've been playing, but they lost to CU and CSU earlier in this season. They come here onto the campus of CU, onto Kittredge Field, and they shocked the entire conference, probably shocked the MCLA too, but these two, I mean, all four of these teams that were in the tournament for Division I, they just grinded out year in and year out. And this year it was BYU that came out on top. Great performances by guys like Zach Labrum, by Harry Waddups, by Connor Bernal, by Chris Severson, just chipping away at a 4-goal deficit. I mean, as we mentioned before, as soon as you blink to start the game, CU blitzes them with 4 goals in a row, controlling the draws, pushing the ball in transition. And they were just able to slow down the tempo. Mason Moon finally catching on, chipping away until they themselves get a 4-goal lead. So all the props in the world to BYU, and at the same time to CU too, with the kind of season that they've had this season, gaining the #1 overall seed in the RMLC, getting to the conference championship game here, and putting on one heck of a show for the home crowd. So BYU at center field getting some snapshots with the conference championship trophy.
BYU crowd going nuts over this championship. I think it was not expected at all, especially after the Colorado teams went into BYU and really took it to them about 3 weeks ago. But nevertheless, they walk out with it, and what a great performance by the Cougars here in this tournament, dominating Utah yesterday and then coming out with the big W today against
Scott Fields down here with Harrison, player of the game here with the big defensive game for you. What changed for you guys? Coming out a little flat, and you guys just changed it up here, and that third quarter really made a big swing.
Yeah, definitely a really slow start, but I think the difference maker was we just really started to trust each other. We were leaving slides way too quickly, but you know we came back in after the first and said, hey, it's about trusting each other. Let's go slower and let's trust each other. So yeah.
What was the key moment for you guys as a defense to really start shutting them down and really frustrate CU?
I'd say our freshman goalie Mason Moon. Once he got some huge stops, a couple of ones from outside, and realized we just need to pack it in and let Mason make some saves, and he played huge.
Congrats on the win. Good game. Let you go join your team real quick. Coach, thanks again, coming out here, making the trip. Great game by your guys. Really came in, 6-6 in that half, and you guys really came out intensity, dancing in the side, and really picked it up for you. He kind of gave me the defensive side as you guys as a team as a whole. Where was it that you felt talking to the guys made the change for you?
Well, I think as we came out of halftime, one of the things that we knew, if we could get settled on offense and actually get into our 6v6, we'd be in good shape. We've made a lot of progress over the course of the year to find some strengths. I think we took advantage of them today, and things worked out in our favor.
What big changes did you push? Face-offs early, we're having a tough time, and then you kind of had some good wing play that came in and really got those ground balls to fight.
We started to notice some tendencies at the face-off X, and we discovered that if we changed where our wing guys were playing, number 15 for CU would have to play the ball a little bit differently. It allowed us to get more of a 50-50 play.
Well, congratulations again. Have a good trip back, and good luck in the tournament.
That's Scott Foster with BYU coach Matt Schneck. Matt Schneck, real classy. I love talking to Matt all the time. He gives us all the material we can possibly do.
And he's been around the league for quite some time, always with the BYU program, and as you said, a stand-up guy, well respected around the league, and obviously one heck of a coach to be able to corral his team to come back from 4 down in a conference title game to win it here at Kittredge.
Yeah, what a game here today, this afternoon, folks. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this. The Cougars are RMLC Division I champions, presented by Movement Training Systems.
John Bacon, former linebacker at the University of Oregon. There isn't an app out there that takes your data of what you were able to do, define an intensity level, and then interpret that and provide a weight for you for the next set. We're doing things that make football players better power lifters, better direct line sprinters. That's what this is changing. There needs to be an evolution in how we train athletes. This is it.
At 5280 Waste Solutions, your trash is our business. We can handle any size job with our huge variety of roll-offs. We're the leader in commercial disposal with our industrial-sized containers. But our sweet spot is for you do-it-yourselfers and landscapers. Our newest can fits right into your garage. With 5280, you get one price and no hidden fees. When it's time to clean, think green. At 5280, we can't wait to get our hands on your trash.
Your passion is your story. Big Bite tells stories. Your story is your brand. Big Bite builds brands. Your brand is your business. Big Bite. You do you. We'll do the rest.
Welcome back to the CU Sports Medicine and Performance Center post-game show. I'm Dan Matthews with Max Frater. And what a game we had here today. It was capped off by our movement training systems move of the game, Max.
And that goes to the midfielder, Zach Labrum. As you see here, Jay Snell overextending himself a little bit, trying to pick off the pass to Labrum. He takes advantage, got nothing but daylight in front of him, and a nice jump shot goal, low bouncer. Beats Jensen Makaroff for one of the many goals of the game, but this one, the highlight reel for Zach Labrum and the champion Cougars.
What a day, what a weekend. Metro State wins the championship at the D2 ranks earlier this afternoon, and it's BYU taking down Colorado this evening, and a great weekend of lacrosse at the RMLC championships.
And I'm excited for the rest of the MCLA to see what the RMLC will be bringing to Southern California in the national championship tournament come May.
For our crew at ASBN, Big Bite Television, Scott Field, Max Frater, John Ponis, I'm Dan Matthews. We want to thank you all for tuning in and making this broadcast such a great success. The RMLC champions are Metro State and BYU. Until the next time, folks, so long, everybody.
Sports Performance Program here at the CU Sports Medicine and Performance Program is one of the most comprehensive programs that are out there in the United States and probably in the world as well. And what we do here, we work with all kinds of athletes. So we work with your elite and professional athlete all the way to your recreational athletes.
The concept of having this as a place where you can do everything is just wonderful. You can get injured, you can come here, you can be seen, you can get evaluated, you can get your x-rays, you can get your MRI. From there, you can get treatment, you can get physical therapy. And then, to optimize your performance, not only that, you can do your sports performance, you can do exercise physiology testing to take it to the next level.
We have athletes coming here to Boulder to train from everywhere in the world, and that puts us in a very unique position. We have the whole biomechanics laboratory divided in two areas. One is the gait analysis, where we can analyze your ideal gait, whether it's because someone got injured or maybe it's for sports performance specifically speaking. The next part of the laboratory of biomechanics is the bike fit, where we have the state-of-the-art equipment. We have three-dimensional bike fit analysis, which is a research-grade level of service that we are the first ones who have been developing into a product that can be utilized by any cyclist out there. In the physiology laboratory, we do that. We do physiological and metabolic testing. We also look at lactate metabolism, different diseases like type 2 diabetes, obesity, metabolic syndrome, and we can give them the right exercise prescription. Exercise is medicine. The whole purpose is to prescribe exercise, but we have to do it in a very individualized way. We have the swim flume, which is another state-of-the-art facility for swimmers. So we do this for both purposes of biomechanics, where we can analyze the stroke analysis, and also we can do what's a metabolic response. The best way that we have here is to bring them to a laboratory situation, and we can simulate all the same circumstances as they would be encountering out there in the water.
Through our sports nutrition services, we can offer personalized nutrition for athletes for training and racing through accurate, non-invasive measurements of muscle glycogen status and sweat sodium concentration and hydration analysis, and with that information provide them with individualized nutrition recommendations for their everyday training and racing needs.
Our center, although it's a sports performance center, right, we really want to focus on the whole health and wellness aspect, right? We want to be able to work from your world-class athlete, your recreational athlete, or your individual type 2 diabetes. So in order to prescribe exercise and be able to success at that is to individualize that exercise. And that's what we can do here. We can study your metabolic and physiological response to exercise in the same manner we do with elite athletes, and we can tailor your specific individualized exercise program.
Boulder itself exudes such a active lifestyle, and located in the heart of campus next to the stadium, not only are people coming here from outside, but we're treating the athletes as well. And people come from out of state. And so how can you not be excited about being seen or being treated at a place like that with the best equipment, the best staff? So it's just a wonderful combination of everything brought together in one location.
Hey, Edwin, get over there on the squat rack.